All right, so we are recording. Anthony, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Make sure it pulls up correctly. Okay. So this is what I got so far. This is going to be the main. I the idea behind this wasn't more or less. I think it was like I think it was Shakira is using it more as just a place to go to for like a resume type of thing. That's more my goal. Is I want it to be. I didn't want to go overboard. I didn't want it to be like you get bombarded with a bunch of different things. I want to be able to send either a future employer, coworker, something like that, just to get a little bit of a little blurb about me, a little place to go to just get my information, kind of like a digital card.
Yeah.
So I got my little blurb about me, a little about me section. All these buttons work correctly. Um, I'm still settling on a font. I like this font a little bit better than the basic. I think it's Roboto, the basic. One second. Uh, basic Roboto that comes with what's it called? Bootstrap.
Yeah.
Uh, add a little bit of functionality to just hovering over my image. I think just little nice touches like that. Each one of these links will bring you to the corresponding place on my GitHub for right now. Oops. I want to eventually, because I don't have anything to show for right now, but these images will change to uh my actual projects that I have in the future, stuff that I'm proud of, stuff that I want to show off.
Yeah.
These three links, you click on it, it'll bring you to my email. This will take the middle one takes you to GitHub, and the LinkedIn one takes you to the LinkedIn. I don't have a LinkedIn account fully set up and fully fleshed out, so I don't even have that. This just
Yeah.
brings you to the LinkedIn page. But and the GitHub takes you to my main profile. But
Cool.
besides that, um, I got to go back and do some sizing stuff to make it look. This is the only thing about this font that I didn't like is that with the normal Roboto font, this looked great. This font, the texture, I got to go back and maybe thin up the borders or maybe make it a little bit bigger for the white section to make it pop out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And same thing with this. Like it's readable, but it kind of looks cluttered. Everything fits really well, like in their desired sections,
Yeah.
which I think looks nice. Like
Yeah.
you have a
Right.
full screen of just that. All my buttons work properly as well. But for what I wanted, I think I got pretty much what I want. Added some like just little stylistic things
Yeah.
around the border. Something that I finally got with Josh's help, and I think it was Aaron who recommended it, was the resolution image. So I was able to compress this image down a lot from like 5 megs, 6 megs per picture to one without
Mm.
losing too much of the actual landscape. You can tell in the sky that it's a little bit more compressed, but I don't feel like that's too much of a. It kind of gives like a painted feel. More than a low resolution image, it looks more painted to me.
Yeah.
But it made the parallax so much smoother.
Right.
And also added the smooth scrolling effect, so it's not as choppy when you scroll.
Yeah.
So, but
You say that as you're quickly scrolling and making it choppy.
no, but even so, even trying to make it choppy, it still scrolls a lot smoother than not having that effect on. Like if I was doing this before, it would just because of how I have my scroll wheel, it just jumps to those sections instead of like actually seeing it process through those sections.
Mm.
So,
That looked really good.
Yeah.
Uh, Nice job on all your hard work.
thank you.
And yeah, we want to keep tweaking those the font when it's on mobile.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
just
idea.
the knowing that because I like that font and I like how it looks on everything else and just going back and fixing it for mobile. But besides that,
Yeah. I just for everyone else, I put a fonts.google.com link in the chat. So if you don't like the basic font, you can look at what Google has and play
Web3
around.
Schools also has a good selection where it gives you a good I'll put it in the chat as well.
Cool. Awesome. Any questions, comments for Anthony? Okay. Very good. Thank you for sharing. Ben, you're up.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Currently, this is what I've gotten to after yesterday. I had been remaking the structure of the page. It's still pretty simplistic. I definitely want to, like, if I have given time, probably over the week where we have off, I'll probably make the display of it look a lot better. But I got things in the spots where I want them to. And I added some functionality with the trip focus option. So now I can select the type of trip and it will actually populate the list of items that are needed for that trip. And then that'll also allow me to go back to TBD, which blanks it out in case maybe I want to just refer to this eventually when I get these buttons working to be like print, download, and share. I could print out like a blank list if I'm doing something a little different to help me stay organized. Because every time I do a trip, I like write out a hand list in a journal. But I got the buttons working with the Bootstrap stuff. I got the scroller working and the lists updated. Today's focus is going to be all about integration of the calendar API, the map API, and the weather API. And I did also get the opportunity to, I believe, solidify the views as you scroll through them. So that all, it's coming together. Just need to tidy it up a little bit more.
Yeah, looking real good.
The coding was a little painful. Eventually I do want to kind of do this list differently. I was talking to Josh and Vincent yesterday about how in Python I might be able to give certain types of items in the list values that could then change based off of the weather API. But just to try and create an MVP by tomorrow, I decided to kind of copy and paste a version of the list, and then every single selected list is a slightly different variation of numbers. There's a lot of hard coding that I definitely want to change in the future, but it works. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at today.
Glad you got that working. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, you mentioned what, 2 or 3 APIs you're going to start trying to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously tomorrow we got like one day, Is there anyone you want to focus on more?
Probably the map one, because with the map one, it might add a little bit more interactiveness into a larger portion of the page. And then second would be the weather, but it really depends because the idea of using them kind of links off of each other one. Like the calendar one would go to my Google Calendar. It would set up the searching for the weather API, but then so with the map one, because the map would tell the weather API the location of what it's looking at, while the calendar one would choose the destination location. So I might have to go top to bottom and start with just the basic calendar one. It might not look as flashy, but at least as I progress through, I'll kind of have a chronological order or organized order of how I approach it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cool. Very good. Very good. And I think styling wise, the only thing that was like kind of glaring is all the row you have with all like the little circles and stuff. They're little mushed together. So
I think all of that's actually going to just go away, because
okay.
the idea is that entire column is just going to be a weather API that just shows a forecast of 7 days.
Got it.
So it was more of a visual representation of what a weather API populating that row would look like.
Gotcha. Okay then. Thank you so much for sharing. Any comments or questions for Ben?
So Ben, if you're going camping, like going on a camping trip, how
Yeah.
many magic cards are you bringing?
Yeah, for camping trips, hiking trips, none.
Oh, okay.
You'll notice on Nerd Trip, there's my computer extension cord, switch, and a bunch of magic cards. It's either for like some kind of convention type atmosphere or maybe a bachelor party that just revolves around a LAN or something.
Cool. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Who wants to go next? Let's keep it rolling.
I can go.
I can
Oh,
go ahead.
Isaiah, you want to go?
Sure, I can go. Let me share my screen. Well, leave your fancy website next.
Fancy. Mine's basic as heck.
You always going for something really cool. Okay,
No,
so
I
this is
don't.
my website. Just trying to create a resume here. And I did took out the address, and so I gotta have at least have the city and state, so the employer know I'm located, where their office is at or close to them. Yeah, and try to match all the colors. Make sure they're not too much. And here's my skill, education, history, and these things are clickable to direct me to the employer of my codes. They can look at and to see if they are clean or not. And they also, when I hold over, this pops up a little bit. And this will be my video, but I haven't uploaded yet. And here's are the links. It's not really working. Usually it should. There you go. Okay. So when I hold over, the color changes to a different color, and that allow them to know which one they are clicking, and they do take me to the pages too.
Gotcha.
So that's all. Yep.
Very good. And I'd say what we talked about this morning, we'll probably want to change maybe the text color, something brighter.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
did change that. So you see, it was darker on these things,
Yeah.
so I bring them a little more light to it.
I
Can you
might
see the
even like,
difference?
yeah, I could tell they're lighter from this morning. I might even suggest like just white.
Just white.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone else, what their thoughts on it, or if that's good enough, if they felt that was fine.
So P education. Okay, so I did put them on the different ones. TR, TD, TD right here. So just take this to be completely white and white.
You can look up a good contrast color too if you don't want to just do white.
Since the background is gray, though, it's not really much of a contrast.
It's a blue background though.
Oh, blue?
And the
This is
text area is gray. You see the text area is gray. But our other background is a blue or purplish.
his like table area down here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You see, Aaron? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, yeah,
Well,
I
it
think
does
white brings
kind
it
of
out.
interfere with the GIF you have in the background with those white streaks.
Interfere with it, you said?
So when you're trying to find like a contrasting color, it's really nice when you have like a solid background, like you kind of do with your about you section, right? You kind of have, it's mostly the gray window that you're working in, but however, since the GIF you have in the background with those white streaks coming down, it
Yeah.
does kind of bleed through, so it does affect
Well-
with how your text color is, which is why the white color is probably the best, even though it kind of interferes with those white streaks.
So yeah, when white streaks going through those texts, it does kind of interfere with it. What do you think if should I put a different color for the white strips? Maybe like green or dark blue or purple for the strips?
If the strips is supposed to be matching with the purplish background,
I just think white and blue's pretty cool color.
yeah, I mean, if you have your text as pure white, it's probably
Right.
going to be the easiest to see on top of this, because if you're trying to
Right.
match like a contrasting color with the bluish purple, you might get a different contrast when the white strips come up. I think it's
Mm.
pretty good like this. Maybe if you add like a text shadow underneath the text, you might give it a more of
Oh,
a separation between that and the background.
and black color text shadow? Is it
Yeah,
gonna
like
be solid shadow
like what
or?
Anthony had with his like his text above his like parallax images, he had like
Yeah.
a border around his text. I think that will really help when you have like text on screen like that.
Oh, okay, I was just afraid like if I put a shadow, there's a lot of text on here. It might turn out to be kind of, like blurred to the eye or difficult to the eye to see. But I can try. I'll take a look and put a shadow on it. See what it
Mhm.
looks like.
Yeah, give it a try. Cool, nice suggestion.
Also with your the hovering over the icons, like HTML, CSS, JS, since it's black on a somewhat dark background, you might like the JS kind of blurs in with the background. You might want to consider like maybe like a whiter shadow for like or like a halo sort of effect that kind of gives it more of a pop.
Wider oh, you mean like border?
Um, mm, not necessarily a border, but more like a shadow, like a drop shadow behind
Okay.
it. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it and I have envisioned it in my head, but I'm not entirely sure how to code it yet. But
Are
it's
you
kind of like
thinking like black shadow
no,
or?
no, like you want something brighter too. So if you notice like the JS on top of the icon, it's
Yeah.
like it blends into the blue background
Oh,
there.
right.
Yeah. So if you have something a bit brighter to hover to show up behind it when you hover, you can more easily see the JS text above it.
So maybe like a white shadow?
Maybe.
Or maybe just find an image that has a darker JS.
Mhm.
I have those
JS.
exact images. I can just send you, I can go and make a little like white border around them for you real quick. Like just around the lettering of JS, CSS and HTML if you want.
That'll
Oh,
work.
thank you.
Cool.
I think the
uh,
rest are okay, right?
yeah, I think might want to play with the sizes of your images there as well. They all look a little bit
Which
off.
one? This one?
Yeah. So it looks like the JS is a smidge
Oh.
bigger. You see how it's like
Hmm.
bigger than these guys?
Oh, is it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
it is a little
your
bigger.
Python's kind of big too. So maybe just make them roughly the same size, get the sizes a little bit closer.
Does this one look too small or no?
I think that's fine.
It matches up with HTML and CSS.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'll just
but
these two need to fix, okay.
yeah. And then further down, the only other comment is the text at the bottom as well. You might want to change that color, the text for your links, or just make them bolder. Yeah, because like they're kind
So
of thin.
make them easier to see.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, like the font weight.
Yeah.
And make it the text bigger. And I think you should change the color of your hover over because it fades into the background.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I had trouble to decide what color because the blue is really hard to have any other color to pop out besides white.
You can try red. Red is a contrasting color.
Red,
Yeah.
okay.
A
Yeah,
deep
Or
red.
yellow. Yeah.
yellow. Yellow might be a good color, yeah.
And then maybe add just like a smidge of space below these links.
I tried, I don't know, I couldn't add margin to it. I had so much trouble on that.
Okay. We can try connecting later, or you can try connecting with Josh and we can try figure out how to add a little bit of space down here. Okay.
Yeah, good comments, guys. Thank you so much for the help.
Very good. Nice job. This is wrapping up really well, Isaiah.
Thank you, Vincent.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Any additional comments or questions for Isaiah? Okay. Very good. Who would like to go next?
I can go.
Cool.
I think this part of it.
Mine's gonna look like junk.
No, no, no.
Yeah, so I was messing around with making all the parallaxes work, so they're working. I'm I'm probably going to be focusing more on getting the mobile view on. I might completely remove this contact section on the bottom because I've looked into it. I tried to get out, and I think the consensus that I came to is that in order to get it to work the way I want it to, I have to turn off some like security settings in my Gmail. Like I have to turn off two-factor authentication, allow shady like emails to come in order to let the JavaScript push an email to me.
Yeah.
It would have to do stuff like that. So I'm probably just going to remove this, add in like a email button, and then it would just open up your like mail to my email, and then that'd be fine. They can just email from whatever email contact they want to, and then contact me that way. So I'm probably just gonna remove this, remove that, and just put a button for email right there. So I have parallaxes working. I do have like GIFs and icons in there. I might need to look to figuring out how to get the image to match the window that I'm to. Like right now, it's full screening the image that I have in the background, except I don't necessarily want it to be like full screen. I want it to confine to the card that I have. So I might need to look into that a bit more. As is, it kind of works because the image it gets to the part I want, but stuff like this, it's a funny joke. It's a placeholder, inconceivable GIF in there. But yeah, so I'm just gonna mostly focus on like trying to get the mobile view thing. I'll probably talk to you or Josh later about getting the where's my wireframe? No, that's not wireframe. This guy down the floating nav bar to become visible at certain widths and whatnot. Oh god, I totally forgot about this. That is something I need to work on. Yeah. Yeah, I need to have the side nav bar disappear when it gets to a certain width, and then the floating nav bar appear. That's what my focus is going to be on today.
Gotcha.
As it is,
Yeah.
it's just in the back. Yeah. All right.
Cool. Yeah, so possibly media query, right? Which will have the card on the left, kind of move up top.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have to change some things. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that seems like a good plan of attack for today. And I think what you got here is like really good so far.
Thanks. I hate it.
Any comments or questions for Aaron?
Very nice website.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Okay, who's next?
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like I picked something that might be a little too hard for me, but I'm getting on pretty good. So this is the website. I'm kind of pretty much gonna copy it, I'm not at the point yet where I'm making my own stuff. So I'm gonna try to get all these JavaScript functions in there, but this is where I'm at so far. So I got the navbar to float with me on the way down. I'm not gonna actually use these avatar pictures, but that's just kind of like
Right.
till I find what picture I'm gonna use. So from here, I only got down to the about section, so I still gotta do skills and portfolio. But now that I'm figuring out how to build down, it's kind of going a lot faster. One problem I'm running into right here is how to get rid of this white right here on the outside. If I look at this page, it's blue all the way through. And I don't know why this is coming in here.
Let's see. Yeah, let's take a look. Just a quick look. Well, your container is only 1320.
Okay, that's it. See, I'm not
Are you
even.
using Bootstrap or no?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
Bootstrap, and I'm doing my own CSS too. I mean, so what should I target?
Well, so that's the container, right? That's the whole blue.
If you do container dash fluid in the HTML,
Oh, in HTML.
that's what got mine to fit.
Nice.
There we go. Nice.
Cool. Cool, man. I was stuck there for a while to the point where I was like, man, I'm just gonna figure that out later and move on. For now, yeah. But yeah, I'm only down to the about, so I gotta do what skills, portfolio and contact, yeah. And then the JavaScript functions.
Yeah.
I mean, so what happens if we don't finish by tomorrow?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
We just, if you like, I'm pretty sure, depending on Josh wants to do it, hey, can you present your thing? Sure. This is what I have so far. This is what I've completed. In the future, I would like to do X, Y, and Z with my project, right? And that's all you got to do, pretty much,
Yeah, because during this week off next week, I'm gonna be, I mean, not just doing this, but also what I found out today. I don't know nothing about like key elements and what we were doing today. I need to learn more about that for sure. So that's what I'll be doing in our week off.
Cool. Very good. Yeah, if you can get the transitioning to work, that'd be really cool for the site.
Yeah, I think I'll be watching a lot of YouTube videos on that one.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. Any comments or questions for Austin? Okay.
Nice website. It looks like a big project.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been easy at first, but now kind of like, oh,
It'd be like that sometime. All
Was
right.
your icons oval shaped?
No, they actually came as squares, but I did what did I do to make it
I think he
round?
did an egg shape.
Yeah, border radius.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
That
look.
should make it a circle, should
Yeah, I'm
Should
just
make it
wondering
a
why
circle.
it's not a circle. Did you
I
measure
think
the what's
because
the
the
width?
length
No.
the
Yeah,
length is
it's too long.
bigger than the width.
If it
If
was a
you want
square,
to
it
make
makes
an
it a
egg,
circle.
yeah, if you want to
Interesting.
make an
It's
egg.
a rectangle, that's why.
Yeah, see, now I gotta figure out how to get hello scooted over, which that shouldn't be too hard.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
All righty, John.
So I haven't really gotten too much done since yesterday. I did the functionalities for the drop down, but it kind of like brings it to the top, but the nav bar is over it, so it kind of covers it. So I probably need to fix that by today. I have the functionalities for the get, and also the LinkedIn right here. And then I also got started working on the project that I'm gonna put in here. I didn't really implement the JavaScript yet, but this is just the CSS and the HTML. It's really simple right now, but if I can finish the functionality of the game, then I'll want to add that styling to it and then push it and then add it to project section right over here.
Yeah. Cool. That's awesome.
Nice.
And let's see, Anthony, you had well, a couple of you guys had the like click on the about or whatever, and it brought you to where you needed to be, right?
Yeah,
Any like tips you can give for John? You know, he's got that little smidge where it's like covering.
bring it back real quick.
Here. Yeah, so when I hit the drop down, it like covers it. I think it's because I think I have the position of this set to.
How I
So,
fixed it was a padding thing.
did you say padding on the? Because the way I set the parallax is I didn't
Hmm.
put images. I just set it as the body background because it's all one image.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, so where's it going to, like, when you tell it to go to whatever section?
So it's going to the top of the about me div. So on my HTML. Or essentially wherever I click it. So when I have the
What?
let's see. Yeah, so this is like the div for the about me, like the card.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I have it sent to the H2, which is like the first part, which is like
Have it
the
go to
about
the
me
div,
title.
Yeah.
have it
What
go
if
to
you,
the div.
what if you go to the div, the about me
Mm.
above it?
Change the ID instead of it going to the about me, change it to the class or to the div above it. So on
Mhm.
36, put it into 35. Without taking the A. You don't need the A.
So I can
So
just say ID equals about like this.
yeah, but get rid of the other one.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's because your bar is covering it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So what if you add I think it's, if you added a padding to it, so, or is it a padding or a margin? Padding, yeah, I
If
think
you
it's
had a
padding.
margin to the nav bar,
No, well, maybe that too, but if you added padding to the about me section, so it's the width of the
Of
nav bar.
You know what it might be? I think the thing is that this distance from here is actually top margin from the about me section rather than a div in itself.
I don't, so I was having that same issue,
Mhm,
like
mhm,
where it was going a little too low, and all I did was change just because my top bar was covering my about me section as well,
mhm,
or
mhm.
my, and all I did was change the padding for,
So,
so like do padding top,
padding top for the about me.
for whatever that div is called. I didn't see what
Mhm,
that the
or
main div is called. Do
sorry, which div
the
specifically?
the one that you're, yeah, the about me class, yeah, the one that
This
you're
one?
in.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Wouldn't that just add padding like inside
I'm
and
forgetting
push
if
the
it was
text
padding or
down?
margin that I had to change because one did one and one did the other. Let me check real quick.
Because I
Yeah, that
can.
padding will just increase the about me
Then
from the top of the blue.
then it would be the margin of the blue then.
Margin, okay.
You already have a padding top of 400 or margin top of
Margin
400.
top,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I'm, because this is all margin in the
Yeah.
background.
It might be you might have to
Maybe I can raise it.
maybe create a fake box above
Yeah,
about me.
that's what I was thinking. And then just make it like an empty.
Yeah.
How do I have it? Let me
Okay.
see mine.
So is that
Container.
kind of like the main thing you need to work on?
Yeah, I think more of my focus is just on the functionality of this,
Gotcha.
because I feel like this is going to take the majority of my day today.
Yeah.
But that's definitely something I want to clean up by tomorrow, if I
Gotcha.
can.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool. Thanks for sharing, John. I like that one. It looks good.
I have off my H2.
Any comments or questions for John?
Oh, actually, I think if you do it off of the title, it does make it better. That's how it was because it wasn't the box because I would. Yeah, hold
Mm.
on.
So you want me to base it off
So like how,
the header?
yeah, how I have it is I have it a padding of a 3 volume heights. and that gave me exactly where I needed it to be.
Okay, I'll try that out right now on my own.
Cool, good suggestions. All right, who's next?
I can go.
Alrighty.
Okay, so this is what I have so far. I just noticed that there's this white at the top that wasn't there earlier. So I'm gonna have to clean that up. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. Yeah, it's white at the bottom too. It's not something that was there before. I'll have to look at that. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy. I just gotta change some font sizes.
Yeah, yeah, I like the colors. I like all the images, and I like the layout. Very cool.
Does your email link take them to your email or take it to their email?
No, it's just text. Originally I had it as a link, but it went nowhere. So so I just put it as text for people to just copy.
If you do a link of mail to, it'll prompt them to open it in their default email. So mail to email.
Like mail TO or mail like to the letter.
He posted it in the chat there for
I put it
you.
as a Zoom chat. So if you make your link mail to like that, then just change out the email.
Okay.
It'll prompt you, the user, to either open up in Gmail or like Outlook. It'll ask you what you want to your default action is for that.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can't have the space between the email and mail to spot though. It has to be directly on it. It'll pop up with
Yeah.
an error if you no, I'm just saying so when he copies it, because how you have it, there's a space there.
I only wrote it like that because I know he's
I
gonna
know,
have
I know. I'm just for him.
to practicalities.
Because when you go to validate it, it's just gonna make you go back and fix that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
That huge white space on top, is that
Yeah, that's
part
not
of-
intentional. That it wasn't there last night, and I messed with the code this morning before class, so it must have been when I changed something there.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what happened there.
Did you change anything with positioning?
I might have. It might have been like a margin thing or something.
Because I had that same problem when I messed with a position, so I just got rid of the position altogether and did it a different way.
Yeah.
Might be margin on the container top. And you'll end up white is a part of your body.
I don't have any margin for that container.
Where is it contained in?
It's in. Oh, so the image is just a background image. So it's here in the Jumbotron.
What if the background position was top center?
Oh, yeah, that fixed it. So now just that wouldn't be bottom center. Is that? No, okay, so where down here. That's Pismo. Tide pools. So it would be oh yeah, that fixed it. That was not there before. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Cool.
Oh,
It
It's
kind of
doing
looks
that
like
to the-
depending on the scaling of the image.
it might be, yeah.
I
So
think the
with-
text could be larger.
Which,
in those squares? Because I am having trouble to read them. I don't know anybody else.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
he mentioned he would make those bigger.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And then I would change the color of the links up top. Just that blue on blue can be hard to see.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You could probably also remove the text altogether since they link directly to it and the icons somewhat tell people where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean, these icons are just images.
You can turn
Um,
them into links.
Yeah, you can turn those.
I was planning on it, I just hadn't done it yet.
Mhm.
So this is just like more like placeholders.
Yeah.
Like these do actually go to my LinkedIn, but
Mhm.
and GitHub, but
As for the
Cool.
image in the back, maybe you can set it to scale to contain. So it's not,
oh, this,
yeah,
yeah,
because the images are large enough that you don't really need to position it bot or top, and then you can still kind of get the feeling of the area.
so, oh, so
Yeah.
maybe is there a background scale? Background
I have a
size.
background size cover.
Oh yeah, that seems to have fixed it. Okay. Okay, but yeah, I think Isaiah was saying, yeah, no, I do intend to change this text size because it's way too small. So, and then also change these to just be buttons, except for, well, actually, if I did what you said to do in the chat, the mail to, I could probably just change that to a button as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I would like to add a nav bar, but I think I'll do that on my own time at some point.
Gotcha.
And also work on the mobile side, because right now, if you were to change it to mobile, it's terrible.
What do you,
Oh God,
what do you mean?
it
That
looks
looks
like you
great.
got a bootstrap, but it's not
It's
working.
beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah.
Think of what they could do with all that extra space, though. They could do.
Yeah, but
So
just
many activities.
yeah.
Activities.
I
Very
wasn't
true.
super confident in Bootstrap, so I wanted to just get used to that first. And then once I am kind of used to it now, so I think I'll move on to mobile stuff also on my own time.
Yeah.
So
This looks great. I'm excited to see what Friday brings around. Any final comments or questions for Kai? Okay, all good. Thank you very much. Down to 2. Who's up?
I go. Oh no, which one?
No, I was gonna
You
say
want-
like, I done my majority of my work, but I did something silly yesterday. I decided to not put my auto save on, and I left my computer on. It died, and I lost my progress. So that was kind of a DDD moment for me.
Yeah.
So I do have at least like some questions, at least to like I don't know, I can get all the information. Excuse me, all the information back. But how do you put your website onto like a mobile view? Like that's what I'm having a hard time doing. Like as in like yeah, like the dimensions, like margins, like to get it to look like it's on like an iPhone or like an Android device.
oh
You inspect it.
yeah,
Okay.
I could
The
just
view.
show. If you go to inspect element and then this button right here, you'll probably see it's usually this view, but yeah, if you just click on this button right here where it shows the little phone, it'll go down and then you can click like over here and you can do different like sizings, like S20 Ultra is what I use.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's my phone. But you could like iPhone SE or whatever.
All right, let me
So,
write that down. Thank you, Kai.
Yeah, same here.
If you click on responsive, it lets you drag the scale as to you want. When you're choosing the phone, the dimensions. the
Oh,
top is
responsive, yeah.
Yeah, you can manually choose the different sizes.
Okay, and that will correspond to VS Code. I don't know. I'm just I might be overthinking it just a little bit.
For VS Code, if you use absolute values, I'm sorry. For VS Code, if you go down like a bootstrap route, most of the containers are like a relative, they use relative values, REM, EM, or percentages, and they will adapt to the size of the window, to the screen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but if you use like pixel values, hard values, right? Even though you change the size of the screen, it's always going to stay at that size. So you have to start learning and playing with either percentages, REM or EM, or view width and view height to really get a dynamic website. And if you go down the bootstrap route, it kind of like handles it for you, where you just need to put in like container, a class called container, and you can, play with the size. It'll adapt to the window pretty much.
All right. In that case, I need to do some more YouTubing then. Try to get that down because I was thinking about doing CSS, but I decided to use Bootstrap just because it'll look more clean and presentable. So I'm gonna go with that route instead.
I think you will learn faster if you come to us for help and ask questions. We can really just tell you how it's done.
Yeah, I'll make sure to do that. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I know it can be very disheartening to lose all your code. So
Yeah, I mean,
sorry to hear that.
it's all good. I mean, it's my fault at the end of the day. So I just learned a lesson. Always keep my autosave on no matter what.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks, James, for telling us about what the plans are going forward. I could probably I could try to find some resources that talk about making a website dynamic and stuff like that. I could send it your way.
Yeah, that would be really helpful.
Cool. Alrighty, last but not least, Kurt.
Hello. Hold on, let me comment this out because it's not working right now anyways. Okay, so let's do this. Share screen. So I got my button animations to work their way they want to. And now I'm trying to do my carousel thing, and I'm finding out trying to apply an effect to it is a lot harder than I was giving it credit for. I found this JavaScript thing that I can use for it, and I'm trying to apply an opacity effect to the text as it fades in and out, but it doesn't quite work. It just makes it so the first quote fades out and then nothing else happens because it's applying it to the whole class because they all have the same class name. So, but regardless of that, I got my buttons to work the way I wanted to. So now they're all hidden. In fact, I realized I was being redundant. I actually didn't need to have any kind of visibility so long as the opacity was 0. So the opacity is 0. If I click on technologies and skills, it fades out the button so that you can't reselect the button. And it brings this up. And I'd like to have, I was thinking of having like a similar border effect to the buttons, to have this have some sort of like, not interactivity, but at least more nice and presentable than just like some text and stuff that appears on it to make it appear nice. And then I have it so that when you select any other button, it fades out this box, brings this button back in, fades out that button, brings this one back in. It works for all these. I don't really have actual text for these. I just have some lorem ipsum stuff just so I could see how it works. So right now I still need to put really the text that belongs in here. I just wanted to get the functionality of the stuff that I was shooting to go for to work at least. So I think right now the thing I'm working on is this, trying to get this to fade because I don't like how it just pops in and pops out and pops in and pops out.
Gotcha.
So this is all I have. This is what I have so far.
Cool. This is coming along really well. I like it.
I'm happy I got this stuff to work.
Yeah.
I'm like 100% confident I get this. I'm 100% confident I can get this to work. I just have to figure out how to word it inside this for statement to do what I want it to.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Gotcha. Alrighty. Very good. Any questions or comments for Kurt? All right. Now, Kurt, did you speak to those people and make sure you can quote them?
all those people,
Yeah.
they're all made up. 100%. They are all fictional, made up people. I would have to contact the authors, and by the fact that they have made that public information, I sincerely doubt I have to do that.
Right. Yeah, I was just joking. Just joking.
That would be great to have each one basically be like, I am illegally quoting this one. I am illegally quoting this one. I got permission from this author. I am illegally quoting this one.
Yeah.
That would be good. I'd like that.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you everyone for showing your progress so far and talking about your future plans for it. We are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording here.